It's 6:47 in the morning when they knock. Two of them, dark coats, no uniforms. The kind of people who don't need uniforms because the credentials they carry say everything a badge ever could. Marcus Webb opens the door in his work clothes. He was already awake, already dressed, already about to leave for a job on the West Side Highway. And for a long moment, nobody says anything. Then one of them holds up a document, a subpoena. Securities and Exchange Commission, Financial Crimes Division. They want the notebooks. Marcus doesn't move. Behind him, in the apartment, under the mattress of the bed he hasn't been sleeping well in for 3 months, are 2 notebooks. Handwritten, color-coded, cross-referenced, containing GPS coordinates, timestamps, sightline sketches, decoded cipher sequences, and the manufacturing trail of 14 surveillance devices hidden across 4 New York City boroughs inside commercial billboards. A case file built by a billboard cleaner. In secret, alone, he looks at the document, then at them, then back down. Here is what Marcus Webb is trying to figure out in this exact moment. Are they here because he helped them or because he knows too much? He steps aside, lets them in, and before we find out what happens next, we need to go back to a billboard on West 57th Street, back to an October morning, a corroded power coupling, and a pinhole lens the diameter of a pencil tip that was never supposed to be found. Back to the moment a man who cleans billboards for a living accidentally stumbled into a $42 million conspiracy. Nobody ever looks up. Marcus Webb did. Marcus Webb grew up watching invisible people. His father on a factory line for 31 years, his mother cleaning office towers at 3 a.m., polishing floors for lawyers she'd never meet. He learned early that the people holding a city together were the last people the city ever noticed. He carried that with him to New York at 23. Trade certificate, duffel bag, 8 years of interior work, boiler rooms, elevator shafts, the hidden skeleton of Manhattan. Until 2019, when he joined VertiClean Solutions and moved from the inside of the city to the top of it, 40 stories up, a world most people never see and fewer still would willingly climb into. Marcus Webb was born for it. Up there, he once told a coworker, everything makes sense. You can see how it all connects. The city never looked up at Marcus Webb. Marcus Webb never stopped looking. It started, as most world-altering discoveries do, with something easy to dismiss. October, a billboard on West 57th Street. A luxury watch advertisement. A woman laughing on a yacht. Diamonds catching light that doesn't exist in New York in October. Marcus was there for routine maintenance. A corroded power coupling on the lower left panel housing. 40 minutes, in and out. He almost didn't see it. Tucked inside the aluminum frame. Matte black casing. No branding. A pinhole lens the diameter of a pencil tip. Angled northeast. Not at the street, at the office tower across the block. A specific floor, a specific window. He photographed it, climbed down without a word. That afternoon, he laid the phone on his supervisor's desk and waited. Probably just a traffic monitor, the supervisor said. The city puts them everywhere. Marcus nodded, walked out. City cameras had housing markings, permit stickers. They pointed at intersections, not boardrooms. He knew what they looked like. He'd worked around them for years. This had none of that. This was deliberate, placed, patient. That night, he bought a notebook, 50 cents, drugstore on 9th Avenue, and wrote down everything. The address, the coordinates, the direction of the lens, the floor it was pointed at, and something told him it wasn't the only one. Then he went back the next day and found another one, and another after that. 6 weeks, 4 cameras, 4 different boroughs, same device every time, same matte black casing, same magnetic mount, and always oriented toward a specific building, a specific floor, a specific window. The targets weren't random. One faced a building housing 3 hedge funds. Another pointed at a law firm managing the largest corporate merger in its sector that year. A third aimed at a private equity office whose principals had just appeared on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. Someone wasn't watching the street. Someone was watching decisions. In November, he found something that made the cameras look simple. A laminated card. Chelsea, above an art gallery. Numbers and letters grouped in clusters of 5. He found another in Dumbo 2 weeks later. Same format, same placement. He posted the sequences on a cryptography forum. Anonymous account. No context. No sleep that night. 48 hours later, 3 users responded. Substitution cipher. Pre-digital. No metadata. No trail. Marcus decoded them. Read the output once, then again. Then sat in the dark for a long time. They weren't coordinates, they weren't names, stock prices, future dated. For the exact companies and the sight lines of every camera he had found, someone wasn't just watching those buildings. Someone was trading on what they saw inside them. The question was what he was going to do about it. He looked up whether payphones still existed in New York City. 11. There were 11 left. He found one on Canal Street on a Tuesday morning and stood in front of it for a full minute before picking up the receiver, then called the SEC tip line. Gave no name. Read GPS coordinates from his notebook in a flat, careful voice, the way his father used to read part numbers off a clipboard. The locations, the devices, the decoded messages, the sightlines. The operator asked him to hold. He hung up. He stood at that payphone for another 30 seconds, just listening, making sure nobody was close enough to have heard. He wasn't ready to be a witness. Not yet. He didn't know who had installed the cameras. He didn't know how deep it went. Whoever was running this operation had resources, had access, had known for months or years exactly which billboards to use, which contractors to avoid, which schedules to exploit. They knew this world, his world. Every time he climbed a billboard now, he wondered if someone was watching him the way he had been watching them, which meant there was a possibility, small, cold, and impossible to dismiss, that someone inside his own industry was involved. He kept the notebook under his mattress that night. 3 weeks passed. Then 2 people walked into VertiClean Solutions. No uniforms. Credentials his supervisor examined for a long moment before closing his office door for 40 minutes. SEC, Financial Crimes Division. Marcus found out from a coworker in the parking lot. Said nothing. But now he worked differently. Every housing he opened, he photographed first. Every device he found, 2 more that month, documented in place, timestamps, coordinates, lens angles. He built a second notebook, more detailed than the first, cross-referenced, color-coded, a billboard cleaner, building a federal case file, alone. He told no one, not his coworkers, not his girlfriend, not his mother in Cleveland who called every Sunday. He told her everything was fine. He wasn't sure he believed that anymore. The break didn't come from the SEC, didn't come from law enforcement. It came from a manufacturing stamp, the size of a fingernail. One of the newer cameras, found on a billboard above a midtown hotel in late December, had a stamp on its baseplate, tiny, partially obscured by the magnetic mount, visible only under the flashlight Marcus now carried specifically for this purpose. He photographed it, enhanced it that night on his laptop. A model number, a niche surveillance manufacturer, Antwerp, Belgium. Equipment sold exclusively to licensed security contractors, and a small number of private intelligence firms operating in North America. Marcus cross-referenced the model number across 3 forms, found 1 thread, 18 months old, deleted but cached, 1 active contributor, a username dormant since the thread disappeared. He searched that username across 17 platforms over 2 nights. Nothing. Then, once, a deactivated professional profile, low-resolution photograph, but the employer listed clearly, a private consulting firm, Midtown Manhattan, competitive intelligence and market research. He looked up the registered address. His hands stopped moving over the keyboard. 4 blocks from the first billboard where Marcus had found a camera. 4 blocks and 14 months of silence. He picked up his phone. This time, he didn't hang up. 6 weeks after that phone call, the SEC moved in on a Thursday morning in February. Marcus wasn't there. He found out the way the rest of the city did, a push notification, a breaking news banner on his phone screen while he ate breakfast in a diner on 10th Avenue. He read the headline 3 times. Federal agents raid Midtown consulting firm in alleged insider trading scheme. Multiple arrests expected. The coffee in his cup had gone cold. He hadn't noticed. Court documents unsealed that afternoon described a sophisticated 18-month surveillance operation utilizing remotely accessed optical devices concealed within commercial outdoor advertising infrastructure across 4 New York City boroughs. 14 billboards total, 7 target companies, an estimated $42 million in fraudulent trading gains. The language was precise and bloodless, the way legal language always is. It flattened everything into procedure, into statute numbers and exhibit labels. It did not mention a billboard cleaner from Cleveland who kept 2 notebooks under his mattress and made 1 anonymous call from a payphone on Canal Street. Marcus paid for his coffee, stepped outside into the February cold, looked up instinctively, helplessly, at the billboard above the diner, a phone advertisement, a woman smiling at a screen, nothing behind the housing but cold air and shadow. He breathed out slowly. Then he picked up his equipment bag and went to work. The city never learned his name. That was, in the end, exactly how Marcus Webb wanted it. The consulting firm's principal was indicted on 11 counts of securities fraud and conspiracy. 2 associates pleaded guilty in exchange for cooperation. The surveillance equipment was cataloged as evidence, photographed in sterile federal storage rooms under fluorescent light. The same devices Marcus had first found in the dark, suspended above a sleeping city, his breath fogging in the cold. His notebooks were subpoenaed. He handed them over without drama. A federal attorney shook his hand in a corridor outside a downtown office building and told him his documentation had been, in her exact words, extraordinarily thorough. Marcus nodded, said thank you, took the subway home. He still works for VertiClean Solutions, still rises before dawn, still clips his harness to platforms above streets that never look up, still finds, occasionally, things that shouldn't be there, though nothing since has carried the same weight as those 14 cameras, those laminated cards, that quiet war conducted in plain sight above the heads of millions. He bought a better flashlight and a 3rd notebook because Marcus Webb understands something now that most people never will. The city's secrets don't live in its shadows. They live in its heights, in the places too inconvenient, too exposed, too ordinary to bother concealing, hidden perfectly in plain sight, just like the man who found them. If you made it this far, you already know Marcus Webb's story deserved to be told. Like this video, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and drop a comment. What would you have done if you were Marcus? Made the call or kept walking? But before you leave, tap the video on the screen to discover about the secret Nazi base found under Antarctica.